We couldn't have found two better people to honor this Arbor Day. Of course, with Margaret Wuest. We probably would not, I don't know how many of you have been to Alligator Park, out on Alligator Lake, but we probably, and I think I can say this truthfully, probably would not have that park if it had not been for Margaret Wuest. And Margaret was the one who started it all with her articles in the Lake City Reporter. And then, of course, we don't need to remark on what Harry has done for this community. I'm sure all of us have at different times enjoyed the music that he has given to us and increased interest in music in the community. And I'm sure we've all attended all of the Harry and Friends concerts that have been given out at the community college. And so we could not have picked two better people to honor today for Arbor Day. And we like to do this each time because so many times within the community people do so much. And even though we appreciate it, we don't stop long enough to say thank you.
Before I read the proclamation, I want to say a couple of things. Getting into politics, one of the benefits has been to get to know Harry and Margaret over the last few years and get to know them better. And I always knew what they did for the community and that, but to get to know them as friends. A couple of years ago at the Alligator Festival, I had the honor of presenting the key to the city to Margaret at that festival. And just a month or so ago, I got to introduce Harry and when he played at the park over here, when we lit the park, and he lit it up for the city. So I appreciate everything they have done. The proclamation is entitled "In Recognition of Harry and Margaret Wuest, Florida Arbor Day honoree, January 21st, 2011. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set for the planting of trees. Whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. Whereas trees in our community increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas and beauty of our community. Whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy, spiritual renewal. And whereas the Lake City Columbia County Beautification Committee does hereby designate and delegate today to honor Mr. and Mrs. Harry Wuest as the recipients of a tree planted in their honor for their contribution to our community. Now therefore I, Stephen M. Witt, Mayor of the City of Lake City, do hereby recognize Mr. Harry Wuest and the late Mrs. Margaret Wuest for their contributions by being selected as the 2011 Florida Arbor Day honorees, and urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Thank you.
Margaret Wuest. She started for the newspaper at the age of 16, and 35 years removed, she had made it a career. Margaret discovered the love of words early as she became her high school correspondent for the local Jacksonville, North Carolina newspaper, and even went on to write her senior class poem. Even then, she was a dreamer by being able to use her cunning nature and bypass the school administration to book the very first band to ever play at her high school's prom. Harry Wuest. Harry, like all musicians, could have called many places home, but following his retirement in 1989, he chose Big Lake City, Florida as his final stage. He came to Lake City with pleasant memories collected during his many stops here, particularly one that stands the most out. While on an overnight stay in Columbia County, Harry recalls the friendly people, the hometown atmosphere, and several colleges in the surrounding area. After a 50-year music career consisting of playing, conducting, publishing, writing, directing, and not to mention managing some of the greatest musicians in the 20th century, from the likes of Lena Horne, Rosie Clooney, to Bing Crosby, Vaughn Monroe, and numerous others. He also organized and conducted the Disney's Top of the World Orchestra.
She was a marvelous, marvelous woman, and this is so heartwarming to me to see this from the people to give us this honor. The honor is for her. I'm a figment of her imagination. I wouldn't even be in Epiphany Church if it weren't for her. She's the one who brought me back to Epiphany Church. She said, "You go see Father Sieber, but you go back to your church." And I did. I've never been happier in my life. And now I see these little kids, you know. I never wanted to teach until I came here, and now I found out it's the most gratifying career of all that I've had. And I see little children like this now, that Lilia just about reaches the keys on the flute, but she makes it work, and it works. And Hallie's a guitar player, and Andrea, of course, she's older, she is expected to, because she already played piano. But that has such a more, every Tuesday, so delightful, and those kids in that school are so well behaved, it's unreal. It's happy. But anyway, all I can say is thank you. I know that she's in a better place, and you know, we all should remember that. That's the only thing that keeps me going, believe me. But this will be a wonderful thing I'll tell her about tonight. I talk to her every day. Sorry. But as far as what I've done here, I've enjoyed it 20 years now. I never really had a hometown like this, and I think this is my hometown now. I'm sorry I had to resort to the handkerchief finally, but that's all that I can resort to. And thank you so much, everybody, for Margaret and myself. Thank you.
Harry, I am so proud of her. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud of this community because you have recognized a person that truly needed to be recognized.